In this video, I'll show you how to create a WooCommerce product filter for your on sale products in just a few simple steps. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So here we are on our shop page, and our customers can filter products which are on sale. So we can enable this option to only display products which are on sale. Our users can also quickly filter products by a particular category. As you can see, that's showing the results instantly. They can filter by certain attributes, and they can also quickly search products and it will display the results instantly. So if you want to create a similar result, head over to woosuite.com and go ahead and download and install the WooCommerce product table plugin. This plugin will allow us to create advanced filtering and create a more user-friendly experience for our users. So with that said, let's head back over to our dashboard and I'll show you exactly how to set up your on sale product filter. Okay, so assuming you've downloaded and installed the WooCommerce product table plugin by WooSuite, you'll see this WooSuite menu here. Go ahead and click on that product table. So the second step is to create a new product table in which we're going to add our filtering to. So we will scroll down to where it says add new table, and I'm going to click add new, and then we just want to give our product table a name. So I'm just going to name this shop page. Okay, where it says quick order form page display, we'll leave this blank. This allows you to automatically insert all your products on this particular table into a shop page. I'm going to leave it blank for now. So we navigate down to where it says form information. This is where we'll create the different columns. So if we check our demo store, here we've got the product image, we've got the product name, we've got the short description, and we've also got a price and also the add to cart button. So I'm going to replicate a similar setup in our backend. So I'm going to add the product name, the short description for the product. I'm also going to add the product category. I'm going to add the stock status, so whether it's in stock or out of stock. I'm going to add the price, and I'm also going to add the product image, and then lastly I'm going to add the add to cart button. So I just want to rearrange this slightly. So where it says product name, after that I want to display my product image, short description, category, stock status, price, and then our add to cart button. So currently this is set to name. I'm going to rename this column to products, and then I'm just going to click update. Let's X that off. That's all the change I'm going to do for this current section. So if we scroll down, we can change the image size. So we've got the width first. I'm going to set mine to 150 pixel width, and I'm going to do the same for the height as well. Okay, you can configure yours accordingly. Image lightbox, I'm going to leave that off. I'm going to skip through these. Product link, I'm going to enable the product links for only the product name. So only the product name will link us to the product page. For the add to cart icon, I'm going to leave that blank as default. I'm going to leave the add to cart name as it is. Now when we go to bulk add to cart, I'm going to select button only. Add to cart behavior, let's enable Ajax. Quantities, so we're going to enable quantities as well to allow our users to select the quantities on the shop page. For our variation settings, I'm going to set this as a drop down so the user can select their variation directly from the shop page. Okay, I'm going to leave these as default, and then on the form information, I'm going to leave everything blank as it is. For product condition, if you wanted, you can only display specific products on this particular product table, but seeing as we're using this for our shop page, it makes sense to display all products on our shop. Okay, so now where it says product filtering, this is where we'll enable our on sale filter as well. So currently this is set to disable. I'm going to go ahead and select custom. Okay, and then for a list of all the different options in which you can add here, go ahead and click on this link and it'll show you all the list of the options available to you. So since I already know which options I want, I'm going to display our categories, tags as filters, and then lastly I'm going to add this sale parameter. So this sale will allow the users to filter by products which are currently on sale. So this is my filters currently. So we've got categories, tags, attributes, and then we've got sale for products which are on sale. Do we want to hide products without a featured image? You can enable this option, it's up to you. And then I'm going to leave these options as default. So we're going to scroll down to where it says form styling. So you can disable the table heading if you want, and you can also add some custom CSS and tweak the design. For performance, this is perfect if you've got thousands of products, then you might want to go ahead and enable laser load or caching. But for now, I'm going to leave everything as default, and let's have a look at the changes. So I just click save changes, and then let's head back over to our general settings page. Okay, so here where it says shop pages, we want to go ahead and select the product table in which we've just created. So in my case, I name my product table shop page. So I'm going to enable that there. And if you want to do the same for your category and tag pages, you can go ahead and enable the same page there as well. Okay, so I'm going to hit save changes. And then let's have a look at our store page now. Okay, so here you can see all the different columns in which we've just created. So we've got the product name, product image, a short description, accessories, whether the product's in stock or not, the price, and then the add to cart button. So it's working as it should. So here we've got our product filtering options. So the first one, we can tick this option to only display products which are on sale. We can filter by categories and also via attributes as well. So let's go ahead and test this out. Okay, perfect. And here you can see it's only displaying products which are on sale. If I go ahead and untick this option, now we can see all the products, and we can quickly filter by categories and so on. So that's working as it should. So I'm just going to go ahead and tweak the styling. In the future, we'll have a few pre-made templates for you. We've got many other videos and resources as well showing you exactly how you can customize your product table. Okay, so I'm going to head back over to my dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to edit our shop page product table. So I'll just click edit here. Okay, and then where it says form design, I'm going to go ahead and enable our custom CSS, and I've already got some pre-made styling. So I'm just going to paste this in here, and then let's go ahead and hit save changes. And now let's refresh our shop page and see the difference. Okay, so this is looking loads better. I'm going to rearrange this image here with the product name. So I want to show the product image first and then the product name. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so it says form information. Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop this image block here. So we've got the image block first and then the product name. So let's go ahead and hit save changes. Okay, and now let's go ahead and refresh our shop page. Okay, so this is looking loads better, but I think we can customize it some more. So I'm going to disable the product table heading. Okay, so let's navigate back over to our dashboard. Let's go ahead and enable this option to disable the product table heading. Save changes, and let's go ahead and refresh this page. Okay, so I'm happy with the design so far, and I'm happy with our product filtering. If we're utilizing tags in our e-commerce store, we can go ahead and allow users to filter by tags as well. If you've got custom attributes or taxonomies, you can also allow customers to filter by those as well. But that's for a different video. So this particular video is created to show you how to create a on sale filtering option for your users. And that's how you create an on sale product filter in WooCommerce in just a few simple steps. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you've got any questions, leave it in the comment box below or reach out to support and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.